Welcome to One More Pen. Today we're looking at this one. This is the Sheaffer Prelude stainless steel edition. These pens have been around since I think the late 1980s. I don't know much about the history of them, but I'm not sure if you can still buy these today, the fountain pen. I think you can still get them in a ballpoint, but I don't know if these are still available. I don't see them around in any case. They might still be, I don't know. But I bought this one probably around 15 years ago. I paid 600 Rand for it at the time. 600 Rand 15 years ago was the most I've ever spent on a pen at that time. It was a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know in today's terms what that would translate to, but it was my most expensive pen at the time. I think it's lasted pretty well, I have to say. It is a great pen. I love it. A lot of great things about this pen. What we'll do is we'll take a closer look at it. I'll ink it up with something. Now, the last time I inked up this pen, I used Sheaffer Blue. It was really a great ink to use in this pen. But today I want to use, it's nothing special, but it's an ink I haven't used yet. I found it by accident, and because they're rather scarce. It's just simple Sheaffer Red, but it's not so easy to find Sheaffer inks where I am. Blue you can find fairly easily. Black is quite difficult. Red I've only seen once in a store. I stumbled on this by accident. I was actually looking for Sheaffer Black, and I let them open. I saw there was an ink. I couldn't see what it was. I let them open it up and thought, oh, red, I'll take it. So never used this ink yet. So I'm going to ink this pen up for the first time with this ink, and it will be interesting because this is a medium nib, but it writes probably much more like a broad or even a double broad. It's a really juicy, thick nib, and I know that this is quite a vibrant red, so I think it will make a really great combination. Alright, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. I always appreciate the support. We will take a closer look at this one. Alright, let's take a closer look at this pen, the Sheaffer Prelude. It has the traditional white dot, although I think this dot has turned a little bit cream over the years, but it's still there. Stainless steel, just a very traditional shape, I guess. Rounded at the bottom of the barrel, so there's nothing there, and at the top we have this flat chrome finial, I guess. This is the very I guess sort of traditional Sheaffer clip with a slit down the center, and nothing surprising there. It's very functional. It's very nice. Center band, and what does it say? Sheaffer USA, Sheaffer USA, Sheaffer USA. Nothing surprising there. The pen has a really nice weight about it. It feels very comfortable. It's stainless steel. It's brushed, so it's nice and shiny, but it's not smooth or slippery at all. Very nice. Very elegant, I think. Very satisfying click when we cap the pen. And we have the plastic section. The section has facets on both sides for the grip, very similar to, say, the Lamy Safari, but these facets are a lot smoother, much less pronounced, I could say. So if you don't like to grip your pen necessarily like that, and perhaps you have a different grip like I do, it doesn't interfere with the way you hold your pen. It's not uncomfortable in any way. So this is kind of nice. They are there as a guide, but it does not force your hand to hold the pen in a certain way. The nib is a, I guess, sort of standard Sheaffer, nothing too surprising there. This is a medium nib, although I can tell you it writes much more like a broad. We have a plastic threads on metal, although I've had this pen for 15 years and I can tell you there's no wear there. It's not a problem at all. I have a converter in this one, but the converter you do have to buy separate. They don't come with a converter, which is a pity, seeing that even really cheap pens these days can come with a converter. I don't see why brands like Sheaffer and Parker cannot do the same. But anyway, that is pretty much it. Not a lot to it. I think this is just a very well made, elegant, but not overstated pen. It's not something that is too bold, that is necessarily going to attract attention. But when people do notice it, I think it is the kind of pen that sort of you look at and you say, that's nice, that's really beautiful, but in a understated kind of way. I really like the beauty in the simplicity of this pen. Now I am going to ink this up with Sheaffer Red. I already told you the story about how I found this ink. These inks really shouldn't be scarce at all, so I don't know why it's so difficult to find them here in South Africa. Like I say, the blue inks are quite easy to find, they're everywhere, but anything other than blue, kind of difficult. Right, so let's ink this pen up. I don't think this converter has been used in a while as well. Right, and I only need to twist it once. It's almost full. And I'm just going to wipe the excess ink off there. Beautiful red. I do notice it's formed a little bit of residue. It's that powdery residue. That's interesting. I haven't seen that before on any of my inks, but I'm not going to mess around with it now. So let's put that aside, just clean off, and we are ready for the writing sample. For the writing sample, as usual, I'll be using my Rhodia dot pad, just really good paper. So without any further ado, here we go. Sheaffer Prelude. This is a medium nib, supposed to be, but it's quite broad. And it's a very nice and juicy nib, as you can see. The ink, very simply, Sheaffer Red. I really like this red, it really pops. I think it's a nice color for this time of the year, with Christmas approaching and everything. Line variation, let's see, a little bit of pressure, no, not really. Very consistent line. I don't think you will get much line variation, and I don't think you need to with this nib either. Will it keep up? Certainly appears to keep up with any kind of writing. The nib on this pen is very smooth. It's also a little bit, how can I say, you do need to, I think, almost grip it or think of it as a stub nib. With a stub nib, you really have to be consistent in how you hold the pen, because any variation, turning the pen left or right on the nib, is going to mean that you don't get proper ink flow because the nib doesn't make proper contact with the paper. This nib can be a tiny bit scratchy if you don't have it in the sweet spot. So you do need to write very consistently with this nib. Then it is exceptionally smooth. So it is a pen, I guess, that not everyone will be crazy about how it writes. It just depends on, I guess, your, how used to the pen you are, and how consistent you can write. But I find it to be a really, really nice writer. All in all, I think this pen is excellent quality. I mean, this one I've had for 15 years. Over 15 years, there's no wear and tear that you can speak of. It's in the same condition as the day that I bought it, and it writes just as well. It's very common for, I think, the Western nibs to be a little broader than the Japanese counterparts. So I said that it's more like a double broad. I think maybe more like a broad, maybe not a double broad, but it's definitely quite a thick medium, but not too thick to enjoy writing. Well, there you have it, everyone. Sheaffer Prelude. If you can get a hold of one of these, I would absolutely recommend it. And Cosmo has just decided to join me, so I hope he's not on camera. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.